lanes and finding shooters. Undefeated Ohio State may be in trouble.
What was happening with Ohio State's offense, excuse me, because they didn't score for the last 3 minutes of the quarter.
Iowa switched to that zone and really clogged up the paint. And Ohio State wasn't able to finish the three. Right away out of the locker room, what does Ohio State do but go inside in the paint?
It's going to be a foul on Molly Davis.
Cody McMahon attacks the basket to finish.
Three-point play for McMahon.
I want to add an extra syllable.
I know, you're doing great.
Because she's an extra energy player.
Oh, absolutely she is. You know, she told us it was her middle school coach, Chris George. He was actually played football, but coached the middle school basketball team, and he's the one that instilled that intensity and toughness in her in middle school. Clark going to the free throw line. Clark's numbers, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists.
Triple-double watch, you called it.
Triple-double watch when she steps in the building, but yes. That's going to be the third foul on Taylor Theory of Ohio State.
2 shots.
This third quarter is going to be important. We saw Ohio State right away go to attacking the paint. They were 0 for 6 from the three-point line. They make that adjustment. If they're able to score, that will allow them to get their press set.
Yeah, in the first half, Ohio State shot 50% on twos, 16% on threes.
I believe Ohio State doesn't have to live and die by the three-point line.
Theory bodying her way in for the 2 up off the window.
And I like the no call. Just contact. Both players have equal advantage. And then it's just a matter of whether you can finish or not.
10 points for Theory. She's one of 2 in double figures. McMahon is the other. And Caitlin Clark again to the free throw line.
Got to believe Ohio State discussed moving the basketball. You watch the ball go from McMahon to Harris to Theory.
First free throw that Caitlin Clark has missed today, now 4 of 5. Got the second. Now Ricky Harris is going to set things up for Ohio State. Thought about the 3, instead gives it up to Theory. Myself.
I was in a box and one. Caitlin Clark is on Mikulášová in the paint.
Czinano running the floor and being rewarded. She's got 16.
You see who Caitlin Clark is matched up with at the top. It's a triangle and 2 is what it is.
Theory trying to spin her way through it. She's going to go to the free throw line.
From the start of the game, I felt like Monica Czinano needed to run the floor in transition.
2 shots.
Keeps the pressure on that press. Doesn't allow Ohio State to get set, get the easy 2.
Well, now they're going to have to sub out Czinano because she just picked up her 3rd foul. Hannah Stuelke comes back in. Now, she gave him some really good minutes in the first half. 6 points, 7 rebounds.
I don't believe Lisa Bluter is worried when she has to go to that young freshman, because Stuelke has a presence inside and really can pick up the tempo and run the floor extremely well for the Hawkeyes. What did Caitlin Clark tell us about Hannah Stuelke in front of Hannah? She could be the best player ever at Iowa. When Caitlin Clark tells you that, whoa! That's a great compliment. Clark with a quick trigger, it bounces out. Cody McMahon to Theory. I think Ohio State talked about not shooting the quick 3 because I've seen them hesitate a couple times to look inside. Well, they're trying to recognize where the openings are going to be because I was in this triangle in 2.
Clark with the steal.
Caitlin Clark talked about the maturity that this team has, the experience that's on the floor. You know, as a junior, she brings it.
Theory going up into the free throw line. Well, they're motivated. They were eliminated from the NCAA tournament earlier than expected last year.
And that focus, you know, they don't want that to happen again. They lost on their home floor, so they know every possession matters, whether it's offense or defense. You can't take a play off.
Well, Fulcher's going to check in and replace Molly Davis, who just picked up her second foul. Well, coming up at 9 Eastern over on ESPN, we'll take you to Waco for number 17 Baylor squaring off against Jalen Wilson and number 9 Kansas. Kansas trying to bounce back after another loss over the weekend. Clark, it's a 2.
Now, one of the things Ohio State was supposed to do against Iowa is go over the top of those ball screens. You can't go behind when you're guarding Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, Kevin McGuff told us that was going to be a change. They would go over the top on all of them.
He just had a conversation with his freshman. Cody McMahon went behind the screen on Caitlin Clark. If there's anybody in this arena you don't go under the screen on, it's number 22 in black, Clark.
Gary back at the free throw line. 15 points, 8 rebounds. This is the second. Ohio State trailed for the 6th time this season at the half. Now they've come back to win all 5 of the previous games they've trailed at the half.
That's got to give you a lot of confidence in Ohio State, that you have it in you, but you've got to chip away at this lead by getting stops.
Marshall creating space for herself. She'll get it back, a second chance for Iowa, and they finish. So Fulcher
sharing the basketball off an offensive rebound. That's just, that connectivity of the Hawkeyes is something that you're always going to see on a Lisa Bluter team.
Largest lead for Iowa. And that's going to be a turnover.
And the Buckeyes, Ebony Walker and the shoemate.
Ebony Walker back in for the Buckeyes to relieve Mikula Shakova.
You know, Ohio State is missing J.C. Sheldon. That's the leader and brains on the floor that can really take charge and settle and calm a team through a storm.
As she's still out with that foot injury, they do expect to get her back this season. Shot is off by Starkey, but the second chance goes for Sydney Fulcher.
Starkey didn't make that first shot, but it was a beautiful pass from Caitlin Clark down the court.
And timeout called. Iowa on top of Ohio State in Columbus. It's We Back Pat Week. Such an important week as we honor Pat Summitt, her impact on women's basketball, her impact on women in general, especially in sports. And Carolyn, you had the privilege of coaching with her.
Pat Summitt gave me my first coaching job as an assistant restricted earnings coach, and learned from her the difference that she was willing and wanted to make in people's lives. And when she was diagnosed with early onset dementia, you know, instead of saying, woe is me, or feeling sorry for herself, she wanted to figure out a way where she could bring awareness, attention, raise money to hopefully find a cure.
It's so cool this week to always hear the great stories of Pat Summitt, how she impacted her players, the people around her, but also how that legacy lives on, not just on the basketball court, but with the research that the Pat Summitt Foundation is working on.
And it's not just the research, but they're also raising funds too to try to provide support and help for caregivers,
yeah,
which is extremely important.
There's there's that Ohio State press. We haven't seen it in a little while because the offense has struggled to score for the Buckeyes. But it worked with Ebony Walker. First points off of turnovers for Ohio State.
This press could ignite this crowd, could bring the energy for the Buckeyes to get them back in this game.
Now before that, Ohio State was on a 3.5-minute scoring drought. Shot clock winding down, 8 seconds for Clark. Czinano rolling. And she traveled. Couple of turnovers forced in a row by Ohio State. Here come the Buckeyes. Day will start this at 7. UConn and Tennessee. Carolyn, you got to coach in this rivalry. What was it like?
Well, Rebecca Lobo was playing for Connecticut, so there was
dangerous.
a lot of, and that was a back and forth battle, but it was so exciting to be in the arena and the excitement around women's basketball when those two teams meet.
College Game Day is going to be there. Tennessee will be the only school to have hosted football and men's and women's basketball College Game Day because they're also going to host men's College Game Day on Saturday.
Knoxville must be the place to be.
Rocky Top.
That's going to be fun. I can't wait to get there. We're going on Wednesday and then have game day on Thursday.
And Tennessee was able to survive a close one yesterday at Missouri. Hopefully Jordan Horston will be back. She was out with an illness. Officials going over the monitor right now.
Sarah Puckett hit a big bucket.
I see what you did there.
Right?
Yeah. So they're taking a look at the shot clock. They've fixed it.
And we talked about it's going to be Elle, Rebecca, Drea. I'll be there. Holly Rowe will be there too.
Ho-Row in the house.
A full crew.
Elle. Taylor Mikesell with the floater. Ohio State's, they turn up the aggression, and now they can go in this press.
And they've really adjusted their press. Started as a diamond, now it's a 2-2-1.
Clark double teamed and trapped in the corner. Now just 17 seconds for the Hawkeyes to work with. That's a kick ball. Kicked by Emma Shoemate. Czinano back in the game, by the way, for Iowa. She does have 3 fouls.
But having Czinano and Stolke on the floor at the same time, why is that important? You got 2 strong rebounders on the floor for Iowa.
Iowa's going to inbound this again, 18 seconds on the shot clock.
And Ohio State not having Mikola Shakova on the floor, that's the true size for the Buckeyes.
10 seconds. Kate Martin. Iowa's got to shoot, and Martin shot off balance. It'll be a shot clock violation. Buckeyes bring in the defense.
Where's the scoring going to come from? Iowa gap in the defense, in their zone.
Shoemate in the corner, rebound by Solke. That's tipped off of Ebony Walker. You know, we asked Kevin McGuff about the Illinois game because they got down in that game. They trailed by 10 points at the half, able to come back and win. And we said, what changed? And he said, we stopped playing hard. We had to revamp our intensity. Well, we're seeing that right now from Ohio State.
The defense has got to go up another level if Ohio State wants to remain unbeaten. You got to bring some nasty, some tenacity inside.
That was Emma Shoemate with the block. Gabby Marshall can't finish. A scoring drought for over 3 minutes for Iowa. The dump off to Theory! Ohio State rocket! 6-0 run.
And freshman, you talk about turning things up. You watch her go snatch the rebound and then push in transition. She keeps the pressure on the defense until they commit. And then Taylor Thier using that old-fashioned shot fake. She used it earlier, gets Iowa in the air, then has a clear path.
With Taylor Thier, 4 fouls now. Takes a seat with 17 points, 8 rebounds. Kate Martin. Marshall flies in. No help around her, and Lisa Bluder's going to call a timeout. Kevin McGuff wanted a travel call. Buckeyes finding their rhythm, a perfect record on the line in Columbus. And this is one heck of a basketball game, and you just got to think that Pat Summitt would love to see the fight in both of these teams. It is We Back Pat, we and Pat Summitt bringing women's basketball to the national stage so that we can have games like this tonight on ESPN2.
I don't believe you could find a coach that has not been touched or impacted by either reading, knowing, or experiencing being around Pat Summitt.
Gabby Marshall whistled for the foul.
Iowa number 24, Gabby Marshall, her first, team number 5.
A 6-0 run for Ohio State and a 4-minute scoring drought for Iowa.
The defense is what changed. The intensity of Ohio State, adjusting the press, going from a diamond, or switching up from a diamond to that 2-2-1. And then whenever Caitlin Clark would get the basketball, sometimes you would see a trap, sometimes you would go over the screen. So mixing up the way that Ohio State is trying to defend Caitlin Clark. See, here comes a trap.
She gets it free to Davis. Gabby Marshall, kick to the corner, too much on the shot. Czinano tries to go up for the board, and Ricky Harris is there to tie it up. Possession arrow, though, still with the Hawkeyes.
The battle that Ohio State is bringing. They are getting on the glass. They're going after every 50-50 ball. See, right now, Iowa has owned the glass. They're plus 11 on Ohio State.
Buckeye ball.
This freshman, Cody McMahon, she's had the responsibility of keeping up with Caitlin Clark. She calls that turnover.
As she told us, one of the best decisions was to leave high school early and join this team January of last year. It's helped her be able to step right into the starting lineup from day 1 this season.
I love her intensity. She is aware of what's going on, and she is a competitor.
That's the 4th on Czinano.
Not only is it important that that's the 4th foul on Czinano, but Ohio State is in the bonus. They're going to the free throw line, and Czinano's got to take a seat.
They have totally taken Monica Czinano out of the second half. She had 14 points in the first half, just 2 here in the second half because she's dealt with foul trouble, and now she may take a seat for a while with 4 fouls.
I got to believe she's going to stay on the bench for the rest of this 3rd quarter. And then Lisa Bluder's got to make a decision. If Ohio State's making a run, do you keep her on the bench or do you bring her in?
Stolke in trouble. Harris is trying to hustle for it. Iowa ran time.
The defense in the backcourt. Shot clock, or the clock is running down. 10-second call in the backcourt. The defensive intensity picked up for Ohio State.
Cody McMahon, got it!
This freshman is special. Cody McMahon doesn't give up on the play. And the second jump, the second effort for the offensive rebound, and then the focus in the finish, and she gets to the free throw line.
I thought you were going to say this freshman is spicy.
I can say that too. That
she is.
Well, that's going to be for the fourth quarter.
Okay, gotcha. 16.7 rebounds, 3 assists for Cody McMahon. Stolke whistled for her second foul. Iowa had 6 turnovers in the first half. They have 6 turnovers here in the third quarter. And the scoring drought continues. Over 5 minutes without a bucket.
But it's going to be Caitlin Clark time. It has to be. They want to hold on to this lead.
Got a 4-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Taylor Mikesell with the ball.
We've seen the end of the quarter. Mikesell coming off a double screen for the pull-up 3.
She just lets it fly off the front of the iron. Possession arrow to the Buckeyes.
Taylor Mikesell, I like that shot. She has shown she can knock it down from the perimeter. There was enough time to get the offensive rebound. Now they get it underneath out of bounds.
Mikesell again, too much. And Iowa's not going to get that bucket off. It does not count. They'll take a look at it to make sure. But look at the Buckeyes go. A 10-0 run for Ohio State.